welcome to this video for the D100 Dungeon Dice and Table Roller app. This is available on the Play Store for Android only. It's not available on iOS, so this is just for Android users. It's an app that's basically one page and you scroll up and down to reach certain features that you might like to roll on and use in the game. We'll go through it as we scroll down. So there's the option there to close down the app itself, so you can click on that and it will close the app down. There's certain sounds that are played when you're clicking on these different things. So for instance, if you roll the dice, you get that. If you roll on the monster reaction roll, you get that. Also combat, when you make the combat rolls, we'll look at them in a minute, but basically that's to switch the sound on and off. And in the same way, the device that you're using, either a phone or a tablet, will vibrate as well. So that's a toggle on and off switch. And the reset button, as you're rolling all these different tables and you're adding all this data in, you might roll on the armor table or the boosts table, for instance. You can go ahead, if you want to reset the app back to how it was when you loaded it up. You can just click on the reset button and then everything all just vanishes and disappears. But if you make a roll on with the dice or on a table, or make a monster reaction roll, by clicking it again, it overwrites that information anyway. So there you are. Okay, so that's the control settings. We'll move on to random rolls. So you've basically got your dice rolls there. If you need to roll a D6, you can click on the D6, the D10 and the D100. You can also make a roll for item damage. So if you've got an item, you found an item in the dungeon and it's damaged, you can click on there and it gives you the number of pips of damage that the item's got. And a random skill, you can roll for one of the random skills. Okay, and then you've got the monster reaction roll. So when you're in combat, you can click on that and it'll give you different rolls depending on what the game rolls for you, or the app rolls for you. And then when you're ready, you can make one roll for all of combat. So if you've got Mighty Blow activated on the event sheet, you can toggle that on. If you haven't, you can toggle it off. With perfect aim as well, if you've got perfect aim unlocked, you can do that as well. And then when you're ready, when you've got everything set, you can then just make one die roll for combat. And we can see that the player has got perfect aim activated. They made a roll of 49, hit the monster in the arms and in the waist. Was the perfect aim ability, because you get to make 2 rolls on the location table. And then the player rolled 2 damage, and then there's the monster's results as well, so you can handle combat quite quick and efficiently. And then we get on to these tables. So if you're rolling on a table and you're using one of the fate potions, you can select that potion there. So let's say we used a plus 40 fate potion on the armor table. We would then the game would then roll for the armor that we found, and it would have already added the plus 40 in on that roll. And notice how it's toggled off, so you don't have to make a fate potion, drink a fate potion, and then click on a table and then have to go back and reset that. So that does all that for you. You also notice on the armor table that it also is randomly generating the pips of damage that item's got. So when you click on it, it's you don't need to make a separate roll for damaged armor in that way. Okay, and there might be some modifiers that you need to apply to a table, and you can use these sections below. So you might come across you found an item and it tells you to apply a modifier on the table of -15, so you can click on those, and then the next table you roll on, it's going to automatically deduct 10 from the D100 roll. so it works it all out for you. You can reset the modifier, and also you can do the plus modifiers as well. So if you had plus 20 for instance, you could then go ahead and roll on that table. Okay, and then we actually get onto the tables itself. So some of these tables are going to have the option to find specific items as well as rolling on them. So let's say we had an item we wanted to look up. We can then click on find the armour, and then click on the mouse shirt, and it'll tell us what the mouse shirt is and how much it's worth and so forth. Okay, and then you've got the boost table, curses table, there's the door table. So if we have to roll on the door table, we can just click there, and also we can find doors as well. So if we come across a door in the dungeon and we want to see what that door is, we can click on that. So we bring up a specific door, and it also gives us the test result that we would need to make to open that door. And then you've got the encounter table, so you can search for encounters. You can click on there and type in encounter number 22, and then click on the encounter button, and it'll bring up the monsters for results for number 22, and also from both encounter tables, encounter table E and EA. So you've got the two monsters there depending on what table you're actually using for your game. And what you can do is you can go ahead and select a modifier. So if the quest encounter modifier is say -20, you can select that, and then every time when you roll on that encounter table, it's always applying that modifier to that random D100 roll that it makes. Again, you've got for the find table, if you're in a blue area, you can just click on the blue button. If you're in a green area, you can just click on that, and you can also use the search feature as well. And the same with geographic. If you've got a geographic reference written on the dungeon sheet and you need to look that up specifically, you can do that. You can just go in there and click up say number 33 and see what that does. Brings up barrels and the options that you need to do for the barrels. And then items as well, so if you need to roll on the items table, you can click on that or search for them. And then when you're in the before your next quest phase, you've got the investments roll as well. So that's going to give you a breakdown of all what you're going to get for the individual types of investment that you've got. If you find a legendary item, you can click there. And when you're searching the mapping table, you can click there and it brings up the different map diagrams that you need to add to your dungeon sheet. Again, needed table, and you can find specific needed items to see what they do. So that's quite handy. And parts as well, so if you need to roll on table P3, you can click there and so forth. Your quest table gives you the quest and the details of the quests, and if you're on a quest, you can find the quest that you're on quite easily. These are listed alphabetically, so if we was on Dungeon Training 2 and wanted to see what was involved with that, you can bring that up pretty quickly. It tells us enter the dungeon and loot 3 weapons from the monsters there. The spell table, and find spells, and then you've got the treasure tables as well, so, and also find a specific treasured item, so that's quite useful. And then the value, so let's say you had some armour that was normally 200 gold pieces, but it was damaged with say 3 pips of damage. We can work out what that sell value is immediately by putting in those 2 figures and then clicking value, and it tells us that our 200 armour with 3 pips of damage is currently worth 80 gold pieces, so that's quite a handy feature. And then lastly, we've got the weapons table, and again, when you roll for a weapon, it's also bringing up pips of damage as well there, like it did with armour. And you can find specific weapons as well, so if you've got some a weapon that you want to look up what it's all about, you can do that pretty quickly. Okay, and then there's a bit of information there at the bottom about the app and some websites that might be useful to go to. Okay, so that pretty much wraps up this video. Thanks for watching, and take care. Bye for now.